Have you ever felt like certain numbers are following you? You look at the clock and the numbers are identical. You buy a coffee and it's that same queue number again. Or perhaps while casually reading a history book or a sacred text, the same digits appear over and over. Stop thinking this is just a mystical coincidence or some occult sign from the universe. From a systemic logic, the human brain is an incredibly aggressive pattern detection machine. We live in the midst of chaos or an information overload. To survive, our brains must perform order, and the most advanced tool to do so is numbers. Numbers are the most honest universal language. The universe doesn't speak English or Indonesian, it speaks in numbers. There are several numbers whose frequencies are so powerful that they emerge in almost every human civilization as sacred digits. Welcome to Arc, Chaos, and Order in the segment Patterns in Nature. In this 8th episode, we will dissect the 7 numbers that most dictate human history and psychology. We will look at the logical reasoning behind why we are so obsessed with them. Prepare your mathematical logic. Let's dissect them one by one. Number 1, the unity protocol and the starting point of everything. We start with the most fundamental. Number 1, the logic of the number 1 is unity. Mathematically, the number 1 is the atom for all other positive numbers. You cannot have a million if you do not have 1. Your POV now, you look at yourself in the mirror, you are one individual. The number 1 dictates our logic of identity and independence. In power systems, the number 1 represents the supreme leader, the sovereign. Almost all monotheistic systems use the number 1 as their primary protocol. One God, one truth. However, the number 1 also has a chaos side, which is loneliness. 1 is the most stable number, but also the most isolated. We are obsessed with the number 1 because we are always looking for the starting point, or the origin. The number 1 is the anchor of reality. Without the number 1, our mathematical system and our very existence would lose its center of gravity. Number 3, the Trinity protocol and narrative stability. Moving on to the favorite number of storytellers and philosophers. Number 3. Have you ever noticed why almost every story has a pattern of beginning, middle, end? Why our physical laws consist of proton, neutron, electron? Or why in design the rule of thirds always make a photo look better? The logic of the number 3 is stability and completeness. Geometrically, a triangle is the sturdiest shape, as we discussed in the geometry episode. 2 points only make a line that can wobble, but once you add one more point to make it 3, you have a self-sustaining structure. Your POV, you're watching a movie and there are 3 heroes or 3 wishes. Your brain feels satisfied with this pattern because 3 is the smallest number humans need to create a pattern. 2 is just a comparison, but 3 is a group. The number 3 dictates our logic that truth or power usually manifests in the form of a trilogy. Number 7. The perfection protocol and memory limitation. This is the busiest number in human history. Number 7. There are 7 days in a week, 7 colors in a rainbow, 7 musical notes, do, re, mi, and 7 wonders of the world. Why not 6 or 8? The logic is cognitive limitation. There's a famous psychological study titled The Magical Number 7 plus or minus 2. It turns out the average human brain can only hold about 7 pieces of information in its short-term memory simultaneously. Beyond that, we begin to get confused. Your POV, you try to memorize a new phone number. Once it passes 7 digits, your brain begins to cough. Nature and culture use the number 7 as a just right completeness protocol. 7 is the limit where something feels full, but not yet messy. The number 7 dictates our logic to see the world in orderly weekly cycles so our minds don't explode from information overload. Number 8, the infinite protocol and absolute balance. The shape of the number 8 is unique. It has no end, and if laid on its side, it becomes the symbol for infinity. In Eastern cultures, 8 is the luckiest number because of its perfect, symmetrical, and continuous shape. The logic is balance. Look at a compass. There are 8 primary cardinal directions. Look at a spider. It has 8 legs for extreme mobility balance. The number 8 is a reminder that everything in this universe is a balanced cycle. The number 8 dictates our logic to seek eternity through balance. It's a symbol of a system that keeps rotating without exhausting energy, a perpetual machine in our mathematical imagination. Number 9, the finality protocol and the decimal system limit. The number 9 is the highest digit in our decimal base 10 system. After 9, we return to 1 and 0. Therefore, the logic of the number 9 is finality, or completion. In many traditions, 9 is considered the teacher number, or the peak of human achievement. There are 9 planets, traditionally before Pluto's demotion, and there are 9 months of human gestation. 9 is the final step before we leap into a new level of reality. Your POV, you see prices in a mall that always end in 99.99. Why? Because psychologically, the number 9 gives the impression that you're getting maximum value just before the price jumps to a new leading digit. The number 9 dictates our logic to sense a finish line. It's the heaviest digit because it contains the weight of all the numbers that came before it. Number 0, the void protocol and the power of nothingness. This is the most revolutionary digit. For thousands of years, the ancient Greeks and Romans didn't have the number 0. To them, if something wasn't there, it didn't need to be written. It was only after Indian and Arabic mathematicians introduced 0 that our science exploded. The logic is the void, or functional nothingness. Without 0, you couldn't have a positional number system. You couldn't distinguish between 1, 10, and 100. 0 is a placeholder. Your POV, you look at your bank balance and see many zeros. Hopefully. The 0 there doesn't mean no money, but rather it exponentially increases the value of the digits in front of it. The number 0 dictates our logic to understand that emptiness is essential. Just like the spaces between words that make writing readable, 0 is the digit that allows all other numbers to have meaningful value. Number 12, the cosmic cycle protocol and time management. Finally, there is the number that regulates your life schedule. Number 12. There are 12 months in a year, 12 hours in a day, 12 zodiac signs, and 12 primary disciples in various teachings. Why 12? Why not use the base 10 system, which is easier to count on our fingers? The logic is divisibility. The number 12 is an incredibly friendly number. It can be divided by 2, 3, 4, and 6. This was extremely useful for ancient people to divide time, harvest yields, or map the celestial circle, 360 degrees. Your POV, you look at a wall clock. The number 12 at the peak is the universal energy management protocol. The number 12 dictates our logic to understand large repeating cycles. It's the number that connects the Earth to the sky. Without the number 12, we would struggle to divide abstract time into manageable pieces for our daily lives. So, what is the common thread of these 7 sacred numbers? Logically, numbers are filters we place on reality so we don't go mad looking at the chaos of the world. The universe is actually very messy and wild, chaos. But by placing numerical labels on every phenomenon, we create order. We use number 1 to feel we have an identity. We use number 3 to feel we have a narrative structure. We use number 7 to limit our memory from overloading. We use number 12 to divide time so we can have a schedule. Our obsession with certain numbers isn't because they possess magic, but because those numbers have mathematical frequencies that best fit how our brains and bodies work in this nature. We are mathematical creatures living inside a giant algorithm. These numbers are shortcuts for our logic to understand complexity without having to get a headache counting every atomic particle one by one. Thank you for watching until the end. If you like how we explain complex things to make them make more sense, don't forget to follow Synoptic. We will continue to discuss many everyday things that are actually fascinating, as long as they're explained the right way. Synoptic, the world simplified, one thought at a time.